Good morning. Good morning, you guys. We are back with we're wrapping up this final week of the connection, the cash through connection, the cash injection through connection workshop series. And we're wrapping up this final week today and tomorrow as we're talking about creating that cash injection through your business. So if you were here and you were joining me, last week, we talked about that fundamental layer. We talked about the three fundamental layers. And last week, we went into the first fundamental layer, which was connecting to your core. This week was all about the second layer, losing my voice, which is connecting and connection through your business. So we talked about quite a few things this week, and we're kind of tying all those pieces in and wrapping some of that up today and then into tomorrow as well. So if you're here and you're joining me, say hi. Let me just sip some water. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're watching me. Seems like I'm getting a little bit of a cold here, a summer cold, the AC and the heat, and all that good stuff. But so I'm going to dive right in. If you're here and you're watching, let me know that you're watching. I'm going to dive right in today. So listen, I just actually realized that I've been doing this whole series so far, and I don't think I've actually properly introduced myself because there's a lot of new people in the group. So if it's the first time you're joining me, if you've never been live with me, and if it's the first time you're sort of interacting with me and you're seeing me, I'm Safia Sattar, you guys, and I am a business coach and an online marketing strategist. And I work with coaches, primarily coaches, but also service-based business owners. Let me clear my notifications. And I help them to increase their sales and their conversions using connection-based marketing. And with doing that, they increase their revenue and their results in their business. Love this stuff. What I teach and I preach, you know that. Because if you're watching this, you know, this whole live stream series that I'm doing this entire month is based on connection-based marketing. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far, and I've had a really great time sharing this material with you. And I really hope that it's been helpful for you too, because a lot of the feedback that I get from people is that they know as a business owner the importance of connection. You know, people are starting to talk about it, but not enough people know how to actually build it into their marketing. And so that was the whole reason I created this series. And so I really do hope that it has been helpful for you so far. So this week so far, we have covered how making connection, like how you can make connection a non-negotiable in your business, and not just how to do it, but why you should do it. We've covered how to use your point of view and your message to create that connection with your market so that you can become competition proof. And then yesterday we talked about how to weave connection through all of your marketing strategies and your sales systems so that you can increase those conversions and create that consistent cash flow in your business, right? And I really honed in yesterday on not just using connection as a tactic at the time of the sale or the time of a launch. So today we're actually going to talk about your offers and how you have to connect with your offer and how to connect through your offer. So it's kind of two-part, right? So you guys, your offers and your services, it's the lifeline of your business. It's like if you're a service-based business, it's like your inventory, right? It's the products. It's the lifeline of the business. It's the thing that you sell. It's the thing that makes you money, right? Kind of like if you're a shoe store, you sell shoes. And, you know, if you had no shoes to sell, there would be no shoe store. So I want to push it one step further and let you know that it's not just about slapping together any old offer, right? You have to be fully aligned and connected, not just to what your market needs, right? So you're not just creating the offer that you think your market needs, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, but also to you as the business owner. Like you have to be so in love with and so deeply connected to your offer, right? Because if you've been watching me this past week and you've listened to anything I said so far, you should know already by now that you have to first be connected to your offer before anyone else feels that connection, right? And here is why. If you are not sold on the thing you're selling, it's going to be very hard for you to sell that to someone else, right? And you've got to not just be sold on the thing you're selling, you've got to be so sold on you being the best solution for what your people need. So, like, it's not just about, I sell, this mastermind or this group program or this one-on-one program or whatever the thing is that you're selling. It's got to also be that I am the best possible solution to help you through that, to help you overcome that. So you've got to be so, so deeply sold on yourself as well, right? So what often happens is that people tend to pump out offers and, they do all the things that they think they should be offering, all the things that they think people might want to buy, right? But they aren't even really fully connected to those offers themselves. And as a result, it makes it very difficult for people to actually like buy from you, right? It's a confidence thing. It's an attraction thing. It's an energetic thing. If you're not feeling what you're putting out, it's going to be real difficult for people to feel it, right? So that's why I always start, you've got to be so bought in and so connected to that thing first before you try to sell it, right? So a lot of the times, what tends to happen is, you might have created this program or, whatever the case may be when you first started your business. And, time might have gone by, you might have evolved from that, and you might even feel still connected to that thing, but you're still trying to offer it, right? Maybe your marketing has shifted or your audience has shifted, your ideal clients have shifted, and you've evolved from that and you see things from a different perspective, or you're serving clients at a different level, but you're still trying to sell the same old offers, or still trying to fit like a round peg in a square hole, or a square peg in a round hole, right? So, you've got to like really, really, really know, as your business grows and as your skill sets grows and as things evolve, as with everything I've been saying, you've got to really be connected to the thing that you're offering and constantly reconnect with it to make sure it's not just what your people want, but also what you feel really aligned with, right? So if you're watching me and you're here live or you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments if you're still offering things that you've offered like in the past and how that's doing for you. Because the other part of this is, if you know the thing converts and you know the thing sells, then go at it, right? Like, don't fix it if it's not broken. But if you've been like promoting the same things and trying to sell the same programs, and you know that it's not converting, and you know that people aren't picking up what you're putting down, and it's been a while, it's been a minute since you've been trying to push this and it's not happening, then, let me know in the comments if that's sort of like where you are right now, and just pay attention to what I'm about to say, because I think that's going to certainly change some of that for you. So whatever the case may be for you, like, it could be that you are like offering something that you've been offering from the beginning. It could be that you've evolved, your market has evolved, the things you want to do has evolved, your skill sets have evolved, and you haven't like matched your offers with that evolution, if you will. It could be a number of things, right? So whatever the case may be, you guys, you have to be super clear and super connected on that thing before you sell it. In fact, you have to be more sold on it than anything else, because that's what will help you sell it faster. That's what will help you increase those conversions on it, right? So if you're in that boat where you're feeling that disconnect and you're not sure, here's what you can do to like reconnect with that and really dive into becoming more sold on the thing, right? The first thing you can do is you can go back and you can take a look at it and make sure that it aligns with your values, it aligns with your strengths, it aligns with your long-term vision for your business and your life, and it aligns with what your market wants, right? You're currently what your market wants. So it's all those things that we talked about last week, right? Hey, Shizota, thanks for joining me. And it is always the first and the best place to start, right? That is always the first and the best place to start. So again, if you weren't here and you didn't watch me last week, you want to go back and look at those videos, because it's going to help lay that foundation for what I just mentioned, right? The second thing you can do is Look at the clients you've worked with in the past and think about how you've been able to help them, right? So like, are you doing enough of the thing that you were able to help your clients get success with? So I want you to like pay attention to the trends. If you look at your clients and see where have they really gotten a lot of results from you, like in what is it that you've done? How have you implemented things? How have you supported them? What have you supported them with? And where have they really gotten results? And look at that and think about that. That's sort of like the zone of genius because you're seeing a pattern with your clients, right? So you might want to package that as one of your offers and reconnect with that piece of what you're doing, right? The third thing you can do is just do a huge brain dump, right? Just do a huge brain dump and a content dump of all of your existing offers. What are the things that you're currently offering? What are the things that you want to offer? What are the things that you dreamed up and you would, like that's your big picture that you would want to do? What are you offering? What have you offered? Just do a huge brain dump of it and just like take stock of all your inventory, if you will, right? And look at the ones that have generated the most revenue for you. Look at the ones that have you felt most excited by, and you'll likely see a pattern because the ones you feel most excited by is usually the ones that generates the most revenue for you, right? So look at those and focus on selling those more often. Like focus on really connecting with that and selling those more often, right? So I work with a lot of coaches, you guys, and a lot of coaches, a lot of times they come to me and they kind of want to scale away, or they want to like, start creating a group program or, do a mastermind or a retreat or a course or something like that. And I'm all for that. Like I'm 100% for that. If it's a good fit, if it aligns, if it is connected, right? So and if you're 1000% sold on it, because if you're not, you ain't gonna sell it, right? So again, you just have to really be connected with that. So that's the connecting with and to your offers. Now I want to talk about how do you connect through your offers. So we already talked about the point of view and the message yesterday or 2 days ago. And similarly, like how I mentioned, you have to be connecting through your message and you connect with your market through your message. Similarly here with your offers, right? You have to connect with your market through the offers that you're putting out in order for you to create that consistent cash flow in your business, right? So a lot of my clients, when they first come to me, they're actually struggling to convert their existing offers, right? And more often than not, it's usually because they are missing the mark when it comes to their target market, right? They're like, there's a disconnect there, they're missing that mark, or they don't know who their target market is to begin with, right? They're just kind of throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping that it sticks. Or they have an idea, but they're missing the mark when it comes to, again, what is it that they're offering? Is that connected to what their market wants? So they may think that, a lot of people actually think they know what their people want. And they go about creating the marketing and creating the offers and doing all the things based on what they think they know their people want. And here's why. A lot more often than not, you were your own ideal clients at some point in your journey. So typically, you're helping your ideal clients overcome something that you've overcome, right? Typically. So more often than not, you put yourself in that situation, you think you know what your people might want. And, a majority of the times you usually nail it. But it's so crucial to actually speak to your people, to actually go out and do the market research, to actually get on the phone, to actually do the surveys and speak to your market to figure out exactly what they want. So it's not rocket science. You take your target market, you talk to your target market, you ask them what they want, what exactly they're struggling with, exactly what it is that they want. You come back, you create the thing, and you give them what they want, right? But there's so many people who don't do that because it takes a little bit of time and effort. And if you're starting out, it could feel very intimidating to put yourself out there, even though it's a necessary part of the process, right? So if you're not crystal clear on what they want, what they're struggling with, and how you can help them overcome that, it's going to be very difficult for you to create an offer that really supports them, right? So there's a lot of ideal client type avatar exercises out there. I have my take on that, but a lot of people spend a lot of time filling out these ideal client avatars, and they're doing all these things, but they don't ever really fully understand the psychographics and the psychology of their buyers and what influences their buying decisions. They don't fully understand at the deep psychographic level what their people and their market really wants and their market really needs, right? So when you have to get 1000% clear on that, and when you do, it makes it so much easier for you to create offers that are aligned, and so that your people can say yes to easily. Because business, you guys, is not hard. It's not hard. Marketing is not hard. It's just a matter of getting a few of the key right pieces in place. And too often people want to skip over that step. Too often people just want to jump to the finish line before taking the time. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me. Good morning. Before taking the time to actually lay the foundation and do the work ahead of time, so that they can actually connect with their market, so that they can actually sell at the time of the sale. One of the first things I do when my clients come to me and they are either now in the beginning phases and they're now starting their business, I always say, let's take the time to build that out first, because that will save you so much time, energy, and money in the long run, right? I would much rather us take the time to get really crystal clear on that aspect of your business, because it is so foundational, and then start building out the offers, and then start doing the launches, and then start doing all the things, right? It's only going to serve you. So how do you connect through your offers? So first, like I said, you first need to be really clear on what your people need and what they want. And if you're still not clear on that, pop it in the comments or send me a direct message, and I'll be happy to talk you through that, because that's foundational. Like everything else builds on that, right? Your offers also have to meet your people where they're at. So this is a common one that I see a lot of people forgetting and skipping over. Your offers have to meet them where they're at. So I mentioned earlier that we're usually some version of our ideal clients, right? And it's very easy when you've kind of grown as to wherever you are. So let's say you are a health coach, right? And you've overcome the battle with, your health and your weight loss and all that good stuff. And you're at the other end of that. It's easy to sometimes forget to where you first were. Even though you remember it, it's easy to forget to put that in your marketing. So like when I say that, I mean, we have to always meet our people where they're at now. And when we've gone and we've evolved and we've kind of grown to a certain stage, there's a lot of people who actually forget that you've got to come back down and meet them where they're at, where they self-identify, where they can read your message, read your content, read your stuff, see your offer, and self-identify that the problem is what is solving their problem right now based on where they're at. So it's like that. You've got to really be able to bridge that gap for your clients between where they are and where they want to be. And that's where your offer comes in. It's right in that middle piece, right? So you also want to make sure you have different entry points for your people to invest with you. This is a huge connection building piece that people don't often think about it as connection, right? Because again, I mentioned earlier, people tend to look at connection as just this external thing, or just this way of like networking or whatnot, right? Or relationship building. And that's the core of it, but there's so many other layers to connection. And meeting your people at different entry points through your offers is a great way to connect with them, because when you do that, you show them that you're thinking about their different phases in their journey. You show them that your business is set up to cater to and support them at each layer where they're at, right? And that's how you move people through your funnel. That's how you move people from starting with you to investing with you to reinvesting with you and just moving up that pipeline with you, right? So you want to make sure you have different entry points for your people to invest in you. And the fourth thing is that, your offers must solve their problems. Like, it has to speak to, let me rephrase that. I think that's putting a lot of pressure on your offers, because ultimately a lot of the results depend on the client, right? So I phrased that wrong. Let me just rephrase that. Your offers must speak to the results and the transformation that you provide, right? So when you are trying to promote your offers, when you're selling your offers, you've got to make sure that it speaks to that it's like really showing them and illustrating for them how they'll get to the other side of their problem through your offer. So it's like you holding their hand, walking them up that ladder or a staircase or whatever you want to look at it as, right? And you moving them through that journey with you. So it has to speak to that transformation versus just all the fluff around the offer or just the logistics around the offer. And that's a very common marketing one. So these are just a few things you can do right now, you guys, if you're not already doing it, to start creating those connections through your offers. And that is how you get the results for your clients. If you're doing those 4 things that I just mentioned for connecting through your offers, and you're doing the other things that I mentioned to connect to and with your offer, right, earlier, that is how you actually create results for your clients, because you're going to be meeting them where they're at. You're going to be solving their problem. You're going to be having different entry points for them to come through your program with. So you're, again, meeting them where they're at, and you're helping them to overcome their struggle. You're bridging that gap for them, like I just mentioned. That is how you get results, right? Which in turn generates your revenue. It generates your revenue and it keeps your business flowing on repeat, right? So because you guys, I mentioned this at the top of this call or video, your offers are the lifeline of your business. They are the lifeline of your business. Without a rock solid offer and without building in these connection pieces in your offer, and without you being 1000% sold on the thing you are selling, it's going to be real hard for you to convert those offers, right? Or convert them long-term or consistently, right? So it's kind of like I mentioned before, it's like having that shoe store without the shoes. You go into the shoe store, you're going to the shoe store is going to have, shoes for every occasion. It's going to have shoes for every size. It's probably going to have male shoes, kids shoes, baby shoes, female shoes, and the more niche you become, the more people are going to come to you for that one particular service, right? So that is my topic for today. Again, tomorrow, we're going to wrap up this whole connection to your business piece. We're going to tie all the pieces together, and I'm going to give you some real tangible results. I'm going to share with you some of my clients and the results that they've received and they've gotten from our time together, building in these connection pieces in their marketing and in their business. And it has been a game changer, and it's been so transformational. So thank you, those of you who are here and who've joined me. If you have not yet signed up for the Cash Injection Through Connection live stream series, I'll put that link in the comments so you can get the recaps and you can get notifications before I go live. If you've got any questions, you're watching the replay, you got any questions or any of this bounces and jumps out at you, feel free to leave that in the comments and I will go back and I will answer them. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.